So, welcome back again. Right, this video will be about the different kind of burners to the Trangia, and I do not have the gel burner. I will start to say that, but I have the others. We will talk about a little bit how they work, pros, cons, and about noise, and about cooking time. This could help you to choose what burner fits you to your stove. In all the Trangia stove you have the alcohol burner. That's the starting point in their stoves. To that you have to have alcohol with you. Then you have the optional gas burner. You could order that together with the 25 and 27 stoves when you order it, instead of the alcohol burner. To that you need gas canisters. And then we have the multi-fuel burner and its fuel bottle. And unlike the others, this one runs on several fuels. It runs on petrol, diesel, kerosene, and as well canistered gas. Alright, so let's do some tests then. So let's start with the alcohol burner. It has a lid with the O-ring if you need to store and save some fuel in it, if you don't burn up all fuel, which is recommended. However, you could store it if the sealing is good. Then you have a sim ring that controls the heat. You have maximum heat in this one without that, and if you want to control the heat of the pot, or if you want to control the heat when you're cooking, you put on the simmer ring like this, fully open or adjustable opening, so you can control the heat. Difficult to control the heat, but it works well. If you use the alcohol burner, I recommend you to get one of these fuel bottles. It's very easy to handle. You have a safety opening with a lock. It's made for storing fuel. Okay, we have a fire. So I will let this bloom up. There's a lot of wildlife here. Not only squirrels, there are beavers and hares I saw this morning. So I fill this up. To this bevel, cold water, and just to show you the ground level of noise. It takes some time to get this alcohol burner on full bloom. It gets pretty quick, and it's quick to light up. And the can is wet, or the kettle is wet. The outside temperature is like 5 degrees Celsius, and the water temperature from the creek is about 7 degrees Celsius. What I like about this alcohol burner is it's quiet, as you saw on the measuring we did with the phone. You still hear the birds, and you could hear the water flow and so on if you sit close to the water. We will see about the boiling time of this. Okay, let's talk about weights. The alcohol burner in itself weighs about 110 grams. The gas burner weighs about 180 grams. this one. The X2 Multifuel burner weighs about 525 grams, but that is together with the system, the bottle as well. These two filled up weighs about the same. I don't have the grams on it, but it feels very, very much like the same weight on these two. And that compares as well with the fuel bottle. Depending how large it is, it weighs about the same as well. That is a half-liter bottle. Regarding the alcohol burner, you can use it in all weathers. When it's very cold outside, you could need to preheat the alcohol burner. A special winter attachment that you put under it, that you could preheat the burner, and then it lights easier. And regarding the gas burner, if you're going to be in Sweden in colder weather, in the northern climates, you need to have gas with a lot of propane and not butane, because that the propane could be used down to minus 22 degrees Celsius. But it works, it's tougher with the gas burner in cold climates as well. And when you go to the multi-fuel burner, it's made for the extreme. It handles all weathers, especially if you use petrol. I almost only use chemical petrol in this one, that you could buy at gas stations for lawnmowers and like that. I only as well use it with gas, with bottled gas. I will show you that later, how it works. If we talk more about the fuel, alcohol is pretty cheap. Bottled gas is more expensive. And the different fuel for the multi-fuel burner, it of course differ in price, but it could be cheap as well, or more expensive. If we talk about the effect of the different burners, then we have about 1000 watt at the alcohol burner, about 2100 watt on the gas burner, and about 1600 watts with the multi-fuel stove, about 1500 watt on the when you use powered gas. 11 minutes and we have a full boil. The specification says about 10 minutes for 1 liter of water, and this is pretty much 1 liter of water, but the difference in temperatures of course. Just put out the burner with the simmer ring closed. Do not use this lid with the rubber ring, because that will damage the sealing function. It cools down pretty quick after you have snuffed it. Alright, then we have a full boil at 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Pretty nice. Yeah, pros with the gas burner is it's very easy to control the heat if you want to simmer. I will take off this so it cools down faster, and prepare to get some new water. Okay, then I have fitted the multi-fuel burner. Both the gas burner and the multi-fuel burner fits very well into the Trangia bottom. This hole is prepared to get the hose through. The old multi-fuel stove did even use this hole for the control. Okay, so we start off with using bottled gas and not petrol, because the fitting for the multi-fuel burner fits gas canister, and this fitting for the multi-fuel bottle have the same dimension. I'll show how it burns with gas. Neat. Puts out even more noise than the gas burner, and I have to speak louder. While we're waiting for the water to boil, to talk about the multi-fuel burner a little bit more. As you hear, it's very noisy, and it needs a little bit more of care, that you take care of it and clean it and maintenance it between the times you use it. You have a needle and a small multi-tool. The stuff bag that you get together with the multi-fuel burner has a small pouch, and in this you get a different jet, so you can change jet for different fuels, and you get the multi-tool to do your maintenance, as well with a very small needle to clean the jet with. We finally got to boil at almost 16 minutes, about 15 minutes. I didn't expect that. I need to see if I could clean the jet, if that is the problem. Well, let's try to simmer this. As you hear, it's like 15 minutes of not listening to the birds, so to speak. Okay, you see, when I simmer this, it's very difficult. Okay, it's time to pressurize this bottle. This you do with this pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The manual says you should pump it like 10 to 20 times, but we have figured out in the Trangia community that it's best to not prime it over 7 times when the bottle is full. The more fuel you use, the more volume of air you get into the bottle, then you have to prime more. That's, I think, why Trangia have a very not so specific manual about this, because you have to figure out how many times you pump depending on how much air volume you have left in the bottle. This has 2 sides, one that says on and one that says off. Be sure to have the side on upwards when you're going to run the burner. Start to prime this one. That you do with letting up the valve and let some fuel get up. Then I have some petrol in the bottom of this burner. Then you prime. I have let the valve off after putting some fuel. There is a filter bed in the bottom. So when you start hearing this and the fuel is burning down, then you have to be quick to open the valve. Perfect. Now the fuel is burnt off and I can open the valve fully. Alright folks, we have a full boil even with the petrol, and that was about 8.5 minutes. Bottle over to off, upwards. Okay, I did a cleanup of the jet into this multi-fuel burner, and we tested a boil test, same amount of water, a couple of degrees warmer water. However, we went down to 730 instead of like 15 minutes, so the cleanup of the jet was successful. That shows a little bit how complicated this multi-fuel burner could be. It needs maintenance to work properly. Easier to simmer or control the heat as well compared to when it was shooting. Right, to sum this up, now we have tried these different burners for the Trangia stove, and my conclusion is that this is quiet, very simple to use, and takes some time to cook, 11 minutes with 8-degree water. And this one is also very simple to use, easy to control the heat, and fast. A little bit noisy, and this one slower than I expected and slower than spec. I have used the correct jet that is recommended for both gas and petrol. The other jet that is included is for kerosene and diesel. With gas, it's very noisy, and as well with petrol. So which one to choose for you, it's very much depending on what type of fuel you could get where you live, and what kind of environment you will be outdoor in. This is for all conditions. You have to preheat if it's winter, it takes a long time if it's winter. Works very well, except for extreme cold, it doesn't. Even if you use the 4-season gas that I do, if it gets very cold, it doesn't work very well. Of course, the spec is like 20- degrees. This one I should only recommend for if you know that you have difficulty to get different kind of fuels, so you can opt the fuel, or you have more fuel options. And of course, if you're going to very extreme weather situations with extreme cold, I could recommend this as well. If you've seen in my videos, I often use the alcohol burner. It's because of its simplicity and it's quiet. I like to hear the birds sing and the sound of the nature itself, so I could live with a time where a few minutes it takes more to use it. Otherwise, I recommend this if you think it's important to have a good heat control. About the burning times, This is a half liter, but a 1 liter bottle is recommended for 2 people and 1 week of cooking. If you fill this up to 2/3, that is recommended, it burns for 25 or 30 minutes. This bottle is a 230 gram bottle, or 8.1 oz. This burns for about 1.5 hours with this gas burner. And this is a 6 deciliter bottle, and that will burn for about 3 hours from full to empty with that multi-fuel burner. So that also gives you an idea how to use this. I hope this video will help you to choose the right burner for your preferences and your situation where you are. The last word for me will be like, go for both of these one if you don't are going into the extremes. Then you have the option that is very good between alcohol and gas. Okay, happy hiking out there, and see you on the next one.